It's fairly tight at the front between Mel and Susan at the moment, and we'll see what Dan can do with this. And they're under orders, and they're off. Mel very fast there. Just maybe not convincingly locking out there for the referee. It's certainly going up and she's getting underneath it, but I think she's getting discounted a few of these, just not showing control as it's overhead, and still being in the middle of in the split, and not really demonstrating that she's fully locked out and controlled it. Dan using the continental in each one, so he's swapping the grip, getting it onto his shoulders, and a big drive. Good technique from Dan, and you see the difference there, clearly having it under control, and Mel now being very conscious of it, keeping the bar overhead a fraction of a second longer to make sure that she's credited with all these reps. And Dan going quite well, you know, much bigger weight for these guys, 90 kilos, and it's sometimes unfair to compare against body weight. Obviously it is absolutely getting heavier, and just not quite able to get it past halfway for the lockout. Mel, no sign of slowing down, even though she got discounted a few at the start. She's maintaining an awesome pace, using a bit of a split jerk style. And with his last one, oh yes, he gets it locked out. Shows good technique there, getting his head right through. You can see on that angle there, getting his head right through, getting the weight right over his head. Now looking much stronger on one side the other. Just a tendency to kink her head over to one side, but it worked fine, and I think Dan there, he's got credited with 5 repetitions, and Mel, oh so close, 14 reps, just one less than Leah. And James is the first guy to go, unable to go head to head. All the girls have finished now. Struggles a little bit with his overhead, James. Strong clean in the continental style, which dates back to weightlifting at the start of the 20th century. Just leans back a lot, tries to use his chest. He's got 2 reps out so far. Again, the mixed grip, getting it up to the chest, supports it well. Oh, is he going to be getting? It's very close. I think he's been allowed it, though that was a real struggle to keep that locked out and under control. So he's up against it here. 3 reps on the board. It's looking like he might need to take a breather here. Failing on the press and keeping it on the shoulders is just massively saps the energy away. And he's had to almost dive out behind that one. I'm not sure whether he's got any more reps in him. Let's see. He's got it up, it's onto the belt, he's got it on his shoulders. Doesn't seem to be struggling with the clean, but you can see there from the side angle, he clearly, when he pushes it, almost pushes it away from his body. And if you compare that to the way Dan Eberhardt was doing it, and he gets his head right through so the weight's right over the top, that's what James needed to try and do. I think he's called it quits there, the belt's off. So James gets 3 reps on the board. Weight was just too far out in front of him. He would never have been able to get that over the head unless he jumped forwards. He's disappointed. So 3 reps on the board. Massive struggle with that 3rd rep as well, so still use a lot of energy even though not getting a 4th rep. And it looks like we've got Mark coming up here now for his attempt on the 90 kilo axle. They look like his knee supports, and he's just getting a bit of last minute instruction there from the referees just to make sure that he locks it out well. Double overhand grip to the chest. Oh, struggled with that press. I'm not sure he's going to get given that one. His elbows didn't look quite like they'd locked out. Again, deadlifts it and props it up onto the tummy. He's supporting a lot of that weight on his arms. As you can see, it's not resting on his clavicles, not resting on his collarbones, and he just can't quite get it past the lockout. See how much leg drive he's using. He's giving it a good dip, but he's just not able to get enough speed and get his arms straightened under the bar. So Mark yet to get a full rep on the board with this 90 kilo axle. He's been going very well in the other events so far, so this would really drop him down. JP Sabara there giving him as much encouragement as he can. Come on. Again there, you see him almost supporting it in front, but you can tell as he dips down he just doesn't have the speed to come back up and press it. No. Oh, disappointing there for Mark. He'll be bitterly disappointed. Unless somebody else fails to get a rep, he's going to have gone down to a last place on that event, and that's going to cost him in the overall. You see there, just puffing and already tired without even getting a rep out. So even though in this event he won't have got a mark on the board, it will still taken the energy out of him and still make a difference when it comes into the next event, which is going to be the deadlift. Paul Cassar now. See what he can do. Oh, not a great start. That'll put him off his rhythm. He managed to get it up. Fairly comfortable looking press, just getting reminded about locking out his elbows there by Scotty Howe. And going with a double overhand to the Continental. Jerks it up onto the shoulders. Comfortable press that time. So first rep not convincing, second rep a lot better. And but the movement of his head doesn't suggest he's feeling very comfortable with this. Again, up onto the shoulders, and not much leg drive there. Manages to get the lockout with the direction of Mr. Howe there, the referee. And he's got 3 reps on the board. He'd want to be having more than that to give himself a bit more of a cushion, because he's very close to Adam, and it's close for the top 3 at the moment. Manages to get another one, and just having a breather in between reps, just repositioning the bar for himself. He's got a long way in front of himself, so he has to pull it back before he can balance it. Shake of the head there. Big drive on the press, and he gets another one. So he's doing well, and yeah, he's done. And I think that's 5 reps he's been allowed out of those, which doesn't exactly put him very high up in this. But it could be that we get a few guys all around about the same marks. This is clearly a pretty good weight for these guys, 90 kilos, and there's the results from the women. So Susie in the lead with a massive 17 reps, and Leah with 15, just in front of Mel, and then Caitlin 1 ahead of Leanne. And for the guys, you got 3 guys there on 7 reps, 2 guys on 5 reps, and then Bo on 4, James on 3, and Mark, disappointingly, 0 reps there. And